Okay, ladies, thank you for joining me. I'm going to just do a quick introduction before we get going with the call today. I'm not going to keep it, not going to be too long. But if you're new to my page, then I'm Emma Kate Dawson. I'm a confidence and business creation coach. So I help women to master their mindset so they can build an authentic confidence from the inside out so that they can then go on to create the business of their dreams. I'm so passionate about what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I've been running an online business for probably about 4 years now. So I've blogged, I've sold physical products, I've done affiliate marketing, and I trained to be a coach about 18 months ago now. I've been a coach for just over 18 months. I absolutely love it. Just going to mute whoever is just popping on now. Okay, I think we're good to go. So that's kind of where I got to, how I came to be here. I'm also a mum. I've got 3 children, so I very much balance, or try to balance, my business with my family. Now, today we are talking all about visibility. So as you have seen, if you've looked in the chat, we've got people joining us from all over the world. So if you've not said hi in the chat yet, then just pop a quick hi in there and say where you're from. Because, like I said, we're talking visibility today. If you want to run a business online, then you need to be seriously visible. It needs to be probably so much more than you think in the early days. I know when I first started my blog, when I first started my coaching business as well.
I'm Lydia from Ghana.
Hi, thanks for joining us. Yeah, the whole thing about being visible was just I've completely lost my train of thought now. Yeah, it's just, you need to be so out there. You need to be in front of so many people, and in such a consistent way and in such a compelling way, if these people are going to buy from you, if they're going to become your customers. So in the ever-changing world of Facebook and Instagram, how can you do that? So when I started my blog and my online clothing business, like 4 years ago now, I think it was, you could post a single post on your Facebook business page, and it would be seen by 100% of the people who liked your page. Often it would reach more than the people who liked your page completely for free. It was so easy to connect with people. It really was a kind of, if you like, this golden time of online marketing. And that's just not how it is anymore. If you are using Facebook for your business, if you're using Instagram for your business, then you will know that if you reach 10% of the people who like your page, if you can reach those organically, then you are doing really well. What we're going to look at today is 3 strategies that you can use to boost your visibility. We're going to take a look at boosting Facebook posts. So we're going to look at some do's and don'ts, when it's a good idea and when it's definitely not a good idea. We're then going to look at using hashtags on Instagram. Hashtags are an amazing way for your ideal clients to find you, but also for you to find them and connect with them in a very authentic way. And we're also going to end by looking at Pinterest. Pinterest is amazing. It's not a social media platform, it's a search engine. So that means that your ideal clients are on there actively searching for the solution that you provide. We're going to look at those 3 strategies today, and then at the end I'm going to tell you all about the Passion to Profit Mastermind. This is my 4-month coaching program to help you gain some real momentum in your new business, or if you're struggling to get your business going, this could be just what you've been looking for. And I have a very, very special bonus for you as well, which is a fast action bonus. It's only for the people who are on the workshop today. If you are struggling with sales, then you are definitely going to want to hear about that bonus. But we will get into a bit more of that in a little while. So let's get started. Using the chat, let me know how many of you have used any kind of Facebook advertising. If you can just pop in the chat, yes, no, what you've done, whether you boosted a post, how did that work? No. So Juliet, you're saying no. Yes, yes to Facebook ads. Yes, yes. Okay, so some of you are yes and some of you are a no. So let me know. Again, boosted post works okay. Yes. So let me know, what kind of results have you had from your boosted posts? Do you think you got value for money? Was it worth it? How did you find doing it? Okay, Joanna, you said depends on the post. Yes, very much depends on the post. Absolutely. Okay, so you said sometimes it seems good value for money, sometimes not worth it. I'm sorry, you've not actually got your first name written there, but it says no sales, lots of likes. You said no sales, but lots of likes. Sometimes I get a sale. Yes. Okay. So some real mixed results then when it comes to Facebook posts and boosting Facebook posts, Facebook ads. Now, Facebook ads can be a really amazing way for you to reach new people and for you to stay connected with your ideal clients. And they can be very, very effective. Facebook advertising can be very targeted and can be a really cost-effective way for you to reach new audience, for you to build your email list. So for example, the advert that I ran that you've all responded to for this workshop today was converting at around 20p per lead. Now that is really, really good value for some really targeted people who all you lovely ladies very much fall into my ideal client category. And I know that because when you join my Facebook group, I ask you a series of questions, and from that I can check that my targeting is working. So Facebook ads can be very targeted, but there is a lot to know. Now, we don't obviously have time. This isn't just about Facebook ads, so we're not going into a whole thing of how you set up a Facebook ad campaign, but what we are going to look at is how you can use boosted Facebook posts to increase your visibility and stay connected with your ideal clients. Okay, so Esther, you said there are times that you boosted a post and made no sales, and there are times you boosted it and made sales. Okay, and Augustina, I'm really sorry, by the way, if I say your name wrong. I'm dyslexic, so I really struggle with letters sometimes. They just don't really work properly in my head occasionally. So you said yes, but you couldn't get value for money. Okay. So what we're going to do is just head over here. Helps if I do it right to start with. If I just, okay, just going to share this with you. So we are going to look at the do's and don'ts of boosting Facebook posts. Okay, so when I'm talking about boosting a Facebook post, what I'm talking about is paying Facebook to show an existing post that you've done to more people, so either to your audience or to a new audience. So this is a post that you've created on your business page, and then you are going to go in and pay Facebook to show it to more people. So it's slightly different than creating an advert. When you create an advert, you can use an existing post, but normally if you were creating a whole advertising campaign, you would create a new post specifically as an advert. So this is taking a post that you've already got and, like I said, paying Facebook, to show it to more people. So do have all your ducks in a row. Now, what I mean by this is Facebook advertising should really be the last part of your strategy. Should really make sure that you've got everything else sorted first before you start paying Facebook any money, because it can be a very expensive exercise if your website isn't really optimized to for the best user experience. If you're trying to get people to sign up for a freebie but your opt-in page isn't set up that well, all those kind of things. So make sure that you have, whatever you decide you want your Facebook advertising to do, that you have got all the other bits in place first before you start paying for any Facebook ads. So make sure you've got an email list provider sorted where you can collect email addresses. Make sure that you have got, make sure that your website is ready for people to actually get a good experience from that. So it's not about everything being perfect, but it's making sure that you've got all the other pieces in place first, so that when you do start paying for Facebook ads, you're going to get the best value for money. Okay, the next one is know your advertising objective. So if you're boosting a post, then you can really only, the objectives are to get more likes and to you can send more traffic to your website, but you can also boost the reach of that post. They're not, boosted posts aren't hang on one second, they're not optimized for conversion. So what I mean by that is, if you've got a freebie that you want somebody to sign up for, then boosting a Facebook post isn't the way to do it, because they're not optimized for people to convert. When you do a Facebook ad, there's maybe 8 or 10 now, I think, different objectives that you can pick. So make one of the really important things when you're creating a Facebook ad campaign is to know what objective you want to achieve. So make sure that you're clear on what you want that Facebook ad to do before you even start it, because otherwise you're going to end up spending money on an ad that isn't going to be optimized to do what you want. Does that make sense to everybody? If you've got any questions, you can ask me in a moment. Okay, and set a budget. So a lot of people kind of do this on a bit of a wing and a prayer, I suppose, but make sure that you have a budget in mind before you start any Facebook ads. That way you'll know exactly what you're spending. And you should have a whole marketing budget that should include all of your marketing, not just your Facebook advertising. So make sure that whatever you're spending is affordable and within that budget. Okay, so don't use the boost button. So when you see your Facebook business page posts, you will see the boost post button. Now, this is the simplest way to boost your post. The downside of it is that Facebook don't take advertisers who use the boost button as seriously. So what that means is you don't get preference when your ad is being shown. Now, there's some real conflicting information about whether this is true or not, but I've heard this over and over again from quite a lot of Facebook ad specialists. So if you can, don't use the boost button. Go into the Facebook Ads Manager and create a post. Create an ad using an existing post. The only time I would say to use the boost button is if you're brand new to Facebook advertising, you feel completely overwhelmed in the Ads Manager and you really can't figure out your way through it, and you have a very small budget, so you're just wanting to spend maybe £1, £2, £3 a day, or £7 a week, something like that, to just get some extra eyes on your post. So if you can, don't use the blue boost button, and don't boost it within the first 24 hours. So give your post 24 hours to get all the organic reach, or as much of the organic reach as it can, before you consider paying Facebook to show it to more people. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a moment about why this is important. Okay, and don't use all your budget in one day either. Again, we're going to go into why this is important, but if you've got, say, a £10 a week budget, you're much better to boost a post for a longer period of time than you are to spend £10 in one day. So the reason why that is important is because your post goes into the algorithm, and it's how popular Facebook think that post is depends on how much it gets seen. So obviously the more likes, the more comments, the more shares you get, the more the Facebook algorithm thinks that post is an interesting and a valuable post, and the more people it will show it to. So if you give your post 24 hours to get into the algorithm, to get some organic reach, then when you start advertising it, Facebook already knows, if you like, where that post is in terms of its popularity. And again, that's why if you use your budget over a longer period of time, it gives it more time to get into the algorithm, more time to get shown to more people. And lastly, don't expect miracles. What I mean by this is have realistic expectations of the budget you're putting in versus the result that you want out of it. So if you're paying maybe let's say £10 a week for a boosted post, and think about the results that you want from that versus how much you've put in. So where else would you spend, say, £10 to advertise something, and what result would you get from it? Now, you would hope to get a better result from Facebook because it is so targeted, but like I said, it's not a miracle worker. So just have realistic expectations before you start your advertising, and think really carefully about the budget that you have available and the results that you can get for that budget. Industry standard is for like leads. In fact, there are no real industry standard for lead generation, but if you can sort of get somebody on your email list for anything less than £2, or sometimes people can tell you that in dollars, which I think is about $2.50, something like that at the moment with the exchange rate, I don't really know, then that is considered a good kind of lead price. So that gives you a really good idea when you're thinking about your Facebook budget as your advertising budget as a whole. If you are only wanting to spend, let's say, £100 on an ad campaign to get some leads into your email system, then you're looking at getting 50, maybe 60 people. So it's a really good idea to know your figures before you start any sort of Facebook advertising. Okay, now what we're going to talk about is, having said all of that, lots of people, I don't know if you're all joining or coming and going. Okay, so use your unicorn. Now, I really love this because this is a really fabulous way of getting the most from Facebook budget. So, you know, I said a minute ago that if you leave it for at least 24 hours before you consider doing any kind of paid boosting on it. And this is a really great way to make sure you're getting the most for this. Bear with me one second. This person is not muted. And singing. There we go. Okay, so using the insights on your business page, find the post that in the last 7 days has had the best reach and engagement. And then boost that post for £7 to £10 for 7 days to reach your audience. So what this does is, for a really small budget, helps you to stay in the newsfeed of the people who like your page. So those people who you're already connected with, it helps them to keep seeing your posts for quite a small amount, really. The least Facebook will allow you to pay a day for a post is £1. That's the smallest amount that you can do. But if you thought about that, if you did that every day for a month, that's only £30 for the whole month. And what you can do is you can show it to people who like your page, and you can show it to a new audience as well, people who you choose through targeting, people like the friends of people who already like your page, all of those kind of things. So it can be a really great cost-effective way for you to, like I said, stay in the news feed of the people who already like your page and grow your audience as well. So this one isn't a free way for you to connect with people, but if you want to grow your audience on Facebook, then at some point it is going to more than likely involve some paid advertising. What I need to remember for the next one is you can mute everybody on arrival. Okay, so let me just go back one moment. Okay, does anybody have any questions about boosting Facebook posts generally, or anything that I've just said before we move on to Instagram? Said it can be a really great way for you to stay connected to people. Do all of you who are on the call right now, and I'm not going to ask you what your budget actually is, but do you, ahead of time, do you budget what you're going to spend on advertising across any platform, or do you take a bit more of a kind of ad hoc approach to it? Just to kind of get an idea of where you all are right now. Okay, so Joanna, you've said you've already boosted a post and now want to boost it again because it's got the highest reach. Is that okay? Yes, absolutely. So if you've got a post that's doing well and is performing for you, then absolutely. When it comes to, you can add more budget as an ad is already running, but don't increase it by more than 50% in one go, because what you will do is you will completely confuse the Facebook algorithm, and then an ad that was previously performing well will suddenly just like completely drop off the radar. So whatever kind of Facebook ad you're running, if you're going to increase the budget, then like I said, just do it no more than 50% at a time. Otherwise you will, like I said, your Facebook ad will just like plummet. It completely freaks it out if you're going to increase the budget. But yes, you could, if it's finished, then you can boost it again. Okay, Lucy, you've put definitely ad hoc, but you should have a budget. And Lisa, you've said, yes, you have a plan in place. That's amazing. Esther, please, what happens when you boost a picture on Facebook and it reaches 0 people? Okay, so do you mean by that you've boosted it and it's not reached any people before, or you've boosted it and then it has and then it's not reached anybody? Let me know about that one. Okay, you've boosted it but all in one day. Okay, so yes, if you can take your budget and spread it out over a longer period of time, the longest period of time that you can, maybe like a week, 10 days, depending on the post that you are doing, give it more time to get into the algorithm. Okay, what's the best way to target in terms of geographical areas? Even if I want to reach all of the UK, is it best to do small areas at a time? He seemed to have more success doing ads targeted on smaller areas. Okay, again, it depends on, it really depends on what you're targeting it for. If you find that you get better results in smaller targeted areas, then absolutely continue to do that. It, like I said, it really depends on, there's so many different factors when it comes to targeting your Facebook ads. So if you find that smaller areas are working for your message, then definitely go with that. And again, look at the ones that are working best. Are there geographical locations that you could target more, and maybe cut out some of those that don't work as well for you for whatever reason? Okay, so Esther, you've said, no, I did a normal post on Facebook, my business page, without boosting. Okay, and I've never boosted, just starting a cosmetic shop and still trying to find the best audience on social media. I bet this would help. Yes, and what else what you can do, what this boosting post allows you to do as well, is for quite a small budget, allows you to test different targeting strategies as well. So it doesn't always equate that if it works in a smaller advert it will scale up, but it does give you an idea of the kind of targeting that is possibly going to work best for you. Okay, so right, has anybody got any more questions about Facebook boosting before we move on to Instagram? Now, Facebook ads, like I said, there is so much to know when it comes to Facebook ads to really get the best that you can from them, which is why it's one of the things that I have included in the mastermind, because I know that it can really just pickle so many people's brains, and it does take some getting your head around, and Facebook are constantly changing it as well, which doesn't really help you to understand what you're doing. So that is one of the reasons why it is included in the mastermind. We will do a full-on Facebook 101 to help you get some ad campaigns set up and running, but as I said at the beginning, you get your ducks in the row first, so that is one of the last things that we look at. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation and let's look at Instagram. So again, let me know in the comments who is using Instagram and what hashtags are you using. Are you using a lot of different hashtags? Do you not really understand hashtags that much? Do you not really know what you should be doing? How do you find it? Share with me in the chat, please, what you're up to on Instagram right now. Okay, Joe, you said you don't really use Instagram, you don't really understand it and its purpose. You're saying you use Instagram, you use about 5 to 10 hashtags. Joe, you would love to know more though. Oh, jolly good. Okay, I'm kind of with you there, Joe. I really, sorry, I don't know why I just called you Joe. Really sorry, it's Joanna, isn't it? It's because my sister's called Joanna and I call her Joe. So for quite a while, I actually put off using Instagram because I was like, I don't really understand. And I think this is just where all the kids are hanging out. And I felt a bit like it perhaps wasn't the right fit for my business. So let's say, so now you're saying you would love to know about hashtags. Juliet, you use Instagram and hashtags. I love it for personal use, building a new Instagram company page. Joanne is saying it's good. Louise, use Instagram, use hashtags up to the maximum number. Perfect. You can use 30, by the way. 30 is the maximum number of hashtags that you can use on any one post. And you're saying you've used Instagram but haven't used it for advertising. I reach up to 200 people, get high impressions but no likes or even sales. Okay, wow, that's amazing to reach 200 people, depending on obviously how many followers you've got, but you get no likes or sales. Okay, we'll have a look at that. So Esther, you're saying you use Instagram but you don't understand hashtags. Sometimes it helps you reach lots of people. Do hashtag, Evelyn, you're asking, do hashtags work? Yes, they do, but again, as with all these things, it's about being savvy about which ones you're using and how you're using them. And Instagram ads just provide likes but no extra followers. Yes, I have found that too. I don't tend to get, so when I run a Facebook ad campaign, I tend to get a lot more Facebook page likes. I don't get more Instagram followers. Do get people sign up from Instagram? If I advertise on Instagram, I do get people sign up, but I don't tend to get more followers from Instagram. Okay, Lucy, you're saying you also use the hashtags with lesser posts because they get seen more. Absolutely, we'll be chatting about that shortly. Instagram, so you're saying, oh, Augustine, you're saying you're on Instagram but don't know how to use it for your business. And you're saying you get likes, followers, and very, very little sale online. Okay, so again, a real mixed bag of Instagram use. And hang on one second. What I'm going to be talking to you about today is using hashtags to connect with your ideal clients. We're not going into today how to build like 10,000 followers by the end of the week or the end of the year or any of that. Because whilst I think it is really important to build an online following, I think what's more important is to build a following of people who are your ideal clients, people who want to connect with you, people who will engage with you, and of course people who are going to buy from you. So in that respect, just having thousands and thousands of followers doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the business results that you want from that. So what I'm going to share with you is how you can use hashtags to get involved in Instagram, to find your ideal clients, connect with them in a non-creepy kind of way, and then from there build that relationship so that they then become clients. So I only have about 470 Instagram followers, but what I do get from Instagram is I get people buying from me, I get people turning up for the workshop. So I run in-person workshops. And the last one that I ran, somebody saw it on Instagram and she drove just over 2 hours to come to the morning workshop. I get people signing up for my one-to-one from there, and I get people signing up for my freebies as well. So this does work. Okay, so hashtag hustling. I cannot remember where I first heard this expression before, but I absolutely love it. So whoever's it is, thank you very much. I wish I could remember. Okay, so this is using hashtags to increase your visibility and join in the conversation. So what we're going to look at is how you can find the hashtags that your ideal clients are using so that you can find your ideal clients, and then you can join in the conversation that is happening in and around those hashtags. And it's, like I said, it's really powerful when you start to talk to people in a real and genuine way. Like, nobody really wants that kind of post when you do a post and then somebody comments and puts something like, oh, I love your feed. And you're like, oh, okay, thank you, that is lovely, but actually I don't really think that's what you mean. I think what you really mean is I'm commenting so that then you'll come over, and because I've said something nice, you'll follow me, and then I can follow you, all of that kind of thing. Now, I hate the whole follow, unfollow shenanigans that go on Instagram. Drives me a bit mad. So I'm not one of these people that will advocate you go and find your ideal clients and then follow them and hope that they just follow you back, because it just doesn't seem to build a connection. It just doesn't seem to build a relationship with people. This is a really great way to build a relationship with people on Instagram. Okay, so how can you find the hashtags that everybody is using? What hashtags are the influencers in your niche using? So these are the people who probably have, I would say, between 1,000 and 5,000 followers, because what happens is when people get above 5,000 followers, and particularly when they get above 10,000 followers, they tend to stop using hashtags because they just don't need to anymore. They've got those followers, and so they don't bother using that many hashtags. So look for people who are in your niche that have more followers than you do. So that's the first one. And then what hashtags are their followers using? So go and find their followers, and that's really easy to do. You just go into following them and find the posts that their followers are using. What hashtags are they using as well? And then make a list. Get a pen, get a piece of paper, and make yourself a really long list of hashtags. Now, this might feel like quite a lot of hard work right now, but this is a way that you can connect with people for free. So if you have got a limited marketing budget, if you want to utilize Instagram, and if you want to connect with people, then this is a really great way to do it. And actually, once you've done it once, you don't need to do it repeatedly. You can then keep obviously adding to it, but you don't need to do it repeatedly, because what you'll find is there are lots of hashtags within a similar theme. So like if you were to look at, say, mumpreneur, there's loads around mumpreneur, mumpreneur movement, mums in business, boss mum, boss mama. There's loads and loads of them. So have a look at the ones that your ideal clients are using. Have a look at the ones your influencers in your niche are using, and have a look at the ones their followers are using as well. And then find some niche hashtags. And when I say niche, I mean ones that have got between 5,000 and 500,000 users. So anything less than 5,000, and there's not going to be that many people who are using them. So your post might get a bit lost just because there's not that many people who will see it. Anything more than 500,000, if you don't have many followers, then your post is likely to just very quickly disappear from that hashtag completely. Because it won't disappear, it will obviously still be there, but disappear from the initial view if people search that hashtag, because so many other people are using it. So if you want to grow your following, if you want to connect with people, then try and use hashtags that have got between 5 and 500,000 users. And pick 5. So from the list that you've created, that your influencers use, that their followers use, pick 5 that really resonate with you, 5 that really you feel sum up your business and what you are all about. And try and pick sort of 5 different ones. So they could be, you could pick one that is, say, focused on women in business, or something about entrepreneurs, and then pick another one that's more related to your niche. So let's say, like, let's take my old business. I used to sell baby clothes. Then maybe there's one around like cute baby looks or something. I don't know if that would be a hashtag, but you know where I'm going with this, right? find 5 that relate to your niche but that are all slightly different. Keep those 5 as your 5 core hashtags. So use them in every single post that you do, not forever, but certainly for the next month or 2 months. So keep those as your 5 core hashtags. And then what you do is, oh, hang on. Okay, it doesn't actually tell you in that bit. So when you've posted, go into those hashtags, your 5 key hashtags, find recent posts, the most recent posts for them, and then join in the conversation. So go into those posts and leave a genuine comment for the person who has left that post. Now, there's 2 reasons why this works really well and why it's really important that you do your post and then you go and join in the conversation. Firstly, it will raise your awareness with people who are using the same hashtags as you. So then they are likely to come over, have a look at your profile, and if they like you, maybe follow, maybe engage with your content, all of those kind of good things. But also, Instagram rewards you for being in the app. They want you to be in the app. They don't want you to post and run. That's why Instagram have been really reluctant to allow third party, you know, where you can post, I can't remember what they're called now, post through third party apps that will schedulers. That's it. Why Instagram were really reluctant to allow that, because they want you in the app. They want you spending time in the app. And if you spend 10-15 minutes after you've posted, then they reward you for that and show your posts to more people. So this is a way you can reach more people for free, but because it's free, it does involve your time. But when you pick these 5 core hashtags that you're going to get involved with, that you're going to engage with, that's why it's really important that you pick ones that really relate to your business, relate to your niche, ones that you are passionate about, because then when you go in and you join in the conversation, you will naturally have things to say around what they are posting about. Okay, so when it comes to using hashtags, as you can see here, I've said always use 20 to 30, vary them for each post, because if you always use the same 30 hashtags in the same order, then your account might be flagged as being like a bot, and that's not the right term, but will be flagged as being one of these, oh, what are they called? That word will come to me. But you don't want that. So vary the hashtags that you use for each post, but keep your 5 core hashtags, and include no more than 5 popular hashtags. So that's 5 over 500,000 users. Include no more than that, otherwise your post is just going to get lost in the busyness. And include a mix as well. So relate them to the person that you're talking about, the content, the problem that you're solving, the outcome, the ideal situation, all those kinds of things. So somebody said earlier, does it work? And it really does. If you're using hashtags, this is the only thing I do to grow my Instagram account. And I get followers and tend to keep them. So when was the last time I ran this? In the last 2 weeks since I ran this before, I've added 75 followers to my Instagram account. Now that might not sound very like a lot of people, but those people are messaging me, those people are signing up for this workshop. Those people will hopefully go on to become clients. So this isn't about adding hundreds and hundreds of followers. This is about connecting with people who are genuinely interested in what you're saying and who you can help and support. Okay. Right, let me just, before we go into Pinterest. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions when it comes to Instagram and hashtags? Lisa, you said get more engagement and followers on Instagram. I love great shot or just an emoji when it's a text post clearly automated. The unfollow game is so inauthentic. Yes, I completely agree. When people just leave you like a random emoji, and it drives me mad. And I hear a lot of people stressing about how many people are following them, how many people have unfollowed them. You can get apps that track who follows you and who doesn't, so you can unfollow people that have now unfollowed you. It just feels like a complete waste of energy. So when it comes to Instagram, follow people you're genuinely interested in, connect with people who you feel you could build a genuine connection with, and add value where you can. Okay, Lisa, shadow banned. Thank you. I knew somebody would know the term. Yes, because it makes your account look like it's an automated account. So make sure you're varying your hashtags so that you don't get shadow banned, I think it's called. Oh, sorry, you couldn't read the last sentence. That was just saying when you posted, so do your post, use your hashtags, then go into your 5 key hashtags and find 2 or 3 posts, comment on them, engage with them. Joanna, very basic question. Is Instagram just for adding photos? Yes. So you have to have an image. You can add text, but it is limited. I don't know how many characters. You can add a fair amount of text. You can't add links in the same way that you can in Facebook. You can only have links in your one link in your bio, and that is it. So yes, it is slightly different from Facebook. You can link your Instagram account to your Facebook business page so that it will automatically post from Instagram to Facebook. Again, there is much chat in the online world about whether you should do that. Lots of people say they don't like to see posts on Facebook that have just come from Instagram because they think it looks lazy. They don't like to see loads and loads of hashtags on Facebook. And some people say it drops your Facebook reach as well. I don't find that it drops my Facebook reach, but I don't tend to post automatically from Instagram to Facebook because I prefer how my Facebook posts look when I do them separately. But that is just a personal preference. Like I said, I've never found that it drops my Facebook reach. Some people say that it does. Any advice for the best type of photos to post? No, not really, because I think you need to find the photos that really reflect your brand and what you are talking about. So I didn't used to kind of curate my Instagram feed. I just used to post what I thought, but now I alternate it between an image and a quote, so a text image, if you like. Because I think it looks pretty and I like that. My business is all about pink. I'm very pink, as you will notice if you see any of my branding. So I've kind of carried that across into Instagram. But again, it is a very personal choice. I would definitely suggest giving some consideration to how your 9 post frame looks when people go onto your profile, because I think that does make a difference as to whether people follow you. Again, content creation is something that we get involved in the mastermind. We look at what you how you can create content that is really going to resonate with your ideal client, how you can brand it. I always use the same filter on all of my photos so that it gives a really consistent feel to everything that I'm posting. But again, that is just purely personal preference. I definitely think it's worth spending time making it look interesting and appealing when people visit your profile, but I really don't think that you need to overly stress it. I think it's more about the content and the value of the content as well. Okay, so Lucy, that sounds good. Okay, does anybody have any other questions when it comes to Instagram? Okay, right. Let's move on to our third and final strategy, and we are going to chat Pinterest. So who is using Pinterest right now, either for their personal use or for their business? And let me know as well what kind of Pinterest knowledge, if you like, you have. Okay, lovely, you're saying you use it. Yes, fabulous. Okay, I love Pinterest. This time last year, I knew absolutely nothing about Pinterest. I didn't even use it for my personal use. And if I'm honest, I didn't completely understand what Pinterest was all about. Lisa, you posted a few things to Pinterest for my business and then I gave up. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to change your mind when it comes to Pinterest, because it is an amazing way. If you have a website or a blog, because you do need somewhere to send traffic, then it is an amazing resource for you to use, because Pinterest is a search engine. It is not a social media platform. So your ideal clients are definitely on Facebook and Instagram, but they are on there looking at everybody else's pictures, seeing who's checked in where, seeing who's sharing pictures of their kids going back to school or birthday parties or nights out. That's what people are doing on Facebook. When you're on Facebook with your business, you are interrupting that. Now, interruption marketing does work. You're all here because I did that. So it does absolutely work. But when it comes to Pinterest, people are on there actively searching for solutions to their problems or ideas, new ways to deal with things. So it's a really great way to get targeted traffic to your website or to your blog. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Pinterest, it is actually really simple. You have graphics, which are the pins, and they are usually vertical and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Portrait. So they are normally bigger than your average social media post, and those pins are if you like, a little signpost to your website. So the pin and the description says a little bit about what is on that page of your website or that blog post, and then there is a button where they can click, which takes them through to your website. So it's a really great way for you to find people, or for people who are looking for the solution you provide, to find you. And what Pinterest allows people to do, why it's called Pinterest, is that they can then pin these pins onto boards to save for later. So not only is your information going to come up when they search, they can also save it and go back and look at it again and again and again, which is absolutely amazing, because it means that the life of a Pinterest pin is something like 160,000 times longer than the average lifespan of a social media post. Something I forgot to say while we're talking about lifespan, actually, on Instagram, I'm just going to hop back to there one moment, is that when you use hashtags, what you find is that your posts will last longer. And what I mean by that is that you will find people liking and commenting on posts that you posted a week, 2 weeks ago, 3, 4 weeks ago, as people are going through hashtags and following them, searching them, and then they are commenting, and then they start liking what you're doing. So definitely worth using hashtags. Anyway, back to Pinterest. So that is why Pinterest is so powerful, because the people who end up on your website are there because they are actively searching for the solution. So in that way, it's more like sending traffic from something like Google than it is trying to send traffic from something like Facebook. Also, when people go onto Pinterest, they are expecting to go to somebody's website to find some information. Like I said, that's not what somebody's doing on Facebook. So they may well click through to your website, but Facebook don't want that. That's not what Facebook's all about. Facebook and Instagram want you on their app. So that's why if you put links in your Facebook posts, it drops the reach, because Facebook don't want people leaving Facebook. They want people staying on Facebook. Whereas with Pinterest, the expectation is that people will use Pinterest to click through and find out things directly from your website. Okay, so how many of you are using Pinterest for your business right now? How many of you have got either a business account or you have boards specifically for your business? Just want to get a little idea before we go on. Okay, so Lucy, you're saying yes. Joanna, you're saying no business account yet. Oh, I like that, yet. Okay, so when it comes to setting your Pinterest to optimize for your business, Pinterest is all about keywords. It's a search engine, so always be thinking about the keywords that your ideal clients are using, that they are typing in. And so what I'm going to talk to you about today is quite simply how you can start to set your Pinterest up. Now, you can set up a Pinterest business account, and I would, bear with me 1 second, I would definitely recommend doing that. It's not complicated. There we go. It's not complicated. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to track the stats to see how many people are clicking through to your website, which is really important because you want to know if this is actually working for your business. And on that note, it's also worth putting something like Google Analytics onto your website as well. Again, very simple piece of code that tracks where people are coming from and also their behavior on your website as well. So really not, you don't have to do both of those things, but they are very worthwhile doing, because it's always worth knowing, is this actually helping your business yet? No, but this is actually helping your business. Okay, so let me just go back to here. Okay, so Pinterest 101. Oh, so there we go. It is a search engine, not a social media platform. So your ideal clients are actively searching for the solution to their problem. And to get seen, you need to know what keywords they are using. Now, the best way to know what keywords they are using is to simply go into Pinterest and start typing in the search bar something that is related to what you do. So for example, I might go and start typing in something like how to build confidence, and then before you even get to the end of that sentence, Pinterest will have given you the options, much in the same way that Google does, of what people are searching for. The ones at the top are the most popular. And again, so search for a few things and get to grips with some of the keywords that people are using. Again, you can use Google Analytics and their advertising to really get some ideas of keywords, but that's all a bit complicated. So just use Pinterest itself to try and find some of these keywords. Now, the next thing is your boards need to be super niched and keyword friendly. So you are better to have 20 boards that are all really, really niched to one thing per board than you are to have like 5 boards with lots of different things. And again, keep your boards keyword friendly. So find out what your ideal client is searching for, what their problem is, what are they looking for, and then create maybe sort of 10 boards to start with that are niche and keyword friendly. And your pins need to be attractive, pinnable, and keyword friendly. So you'll notice this over and over again with the keywords, but the more you use them, the more you put them, so you actually put the keywords into the pin that you create. Now I create my pins on Canva. They're really simple to do. They've got hundreds of different templates for Pinterest pins. But again, get the keywords into the actual pin, make them attractive, because what you want is people saving them to their board. So you want people to click through and read your website, but you also want them to repin them for you as well. So make sure when you're creating your pins, they're attractive, they're pinnable, and they are, again, keyword friendly. Okay, I've said this the wrong way around. So search the problem that you have. So how can I build my confidence? Note down the suggestions that come up as you type, and then look at the top pins and visit the accounts of the people who have pinned them. So again, spend some time in Pinterest, and it really is a bit of a rabbit warren. You will find yourself going from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and not really sure how you got there. But look at some of the people who are in your niche and pinning. What are they pinning? What pins are they creating? And again, look at the accounts of the people who are following some of the big players in your niche. What boards have they got? What are they interested in? And really think about how you can create boards that will help your ideal clients. Okay, so I'm just going to stop that for one moment. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about Pinterest? Obviously, there is so much to know about Pinterest, but I think, like I said, a really great place to start is to create some boards specifically for your business, and then start pinning to them. Now, I pin about 50% of my own content and 50% of other people's. Some people only like to pin their own content. Some people will do more of a 20-80 ratio with other people. But think of each of your boards that you create as like an information board for people for your ideal clients. So what would they want to see on there? What will really help them? And then create pins, your own pins, and find other pins to put on there. And you cannot pin too much when it comes to Pinterest. There is no restriction on it, and there's no reason why you can't, and I often do, use the same pin on multiple different boards as well. And when you're pinning, when it comes to your description as well, get the keywords in your description and have a very clear call to action. So like a repin and click through to read more about my 5 top tips for setting goals. So you're guiding people with exactly what you want them to do. You want them to click through to read your post and then tell them exactly what that post is about, so that they're not just seeing your pin, they are then clicking through as well. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? If you've got any questions. Okay, let me have a look. Joanna, you said, did you say that you create your pins on Canva? Yes, that is Canva, and that is how you spell it. It's canva.com. It's really simple to use. You can use it for free. You don't get all of the features if you do use it for free, but it's definitely a good way to start. They also have loads of stock photos on there that you can use for free, and you can upload your own photos as well. Really, really simple. I am not a designer at all, so if I can use it, then absolutely anybody can. Okay, Esther, please, about Instagram hashtags. I sell fabric. Do I use the name of other fabric sellers on Instagram? Sorry, I didn't really get the best 5 hashtags. Okay, so really depends when it comes to tagging other people. It depends if you mean, should you hashtag other people, or should you tag other people. So tagging like influencers can be a really great way to get your post seen. If you are using, like, if you were using a brand of fabric, for example, then I would definitely hashtag what that brand of fabric was called. Not sure if I would hashtag other fabric sellers. Again, what you really want to think about is hashtags are a way for your ideal clients to find you. So what are they using, what are they talking about, and then use those ones. Okay, super. Love, Lucy, you're saying you love Canva. Yes, use Canva too. Just some marketing articles. Wow, that was a tongue twister for me. Pinterest ready templates were mentioned. Yes, they have loads of different Pinterest templates, and you can freestyle it if you want. You can make your own. You can really simply swap out colors, images, which means you can really quickly make multiple different pins, because what you want to be doing is, say if you've got one blog post, you want to be creating multiple different pins for that one blog post. So you don't just want one pin per blog post or per web page. You want to have multiple different pins that look different, that say different things, and so you can pin multiple different times for the same post or the same page, so that you're really getting that message out there. And what Canva allows you to do is to create those pins very, very simply, and like I said, change things really easily, so that you can, like I said, have multiple different ones for each one without it having to take you absolutely ages, because we all love our businesses, but actually nobody really wants to spend hours and hours creating Pinterest pins, however much we love Pinterest. Okay, ladies, does anybody have any other questions? Anything else they wanted to know? And again, Pinterest is one of the areas that we cover in the mastermind, because there are loads of great ways you can optimize your website for Pinterest. You can also use things like Tailwind to schedule your pins, so you can schedule them all for a week or a month in advance, so that you're not having to go into Pinterest daily. So it can very much be like a set and forget type thing, and then it is just working automatically for you. And there's other things like rich pins as well. Why do you only use Facebook, Instagram and Pinterest? What about other social media sites? Okay, so I also use LinkedIn. I don't use Twitter, just because I'm not a massive fan of Twitter as a platform. I have used it in the past. I don't at the moment. What I also suggest that people do is to find one platform, master that, really get to grips with that, and then move on to the next one as well, so that you're not getting into overwhelm, because what you don't want to do is get into massive overwhelm and feel like you have to do everything all at once and actually not do anything. So I don't use Twitter. Like I said, I know a lot of people do. I'm not a massive fan of it. I think that your tweets and things just get lost really, really quickly. But I know a lot of people do have really good success with Trissa. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay. So I am just going to take another 5 minutes of your time, ladies, and I'm going to chat to you very quickly about the Passion to Profit Mastermind. So if you are wanting to create some big momentum in your business for 2019, then this could be the place for you to be. It is a 4-month coaching experience that will facilitate momentum and growth in your business. It's a mix of business strategy workshops like this one. There are workshops on branding, on creating lead magnets, on how to set up opt-in pages, how to create content. As I said, we are also going to be doing one on Facebook ads and a more in-depth one on Pinterest as well. But also looking at mindset as well. So we're also looking at confident mindset, which is my absolute passion, money mindset, which is so important, ladies. If you have hidden money blocks, then you will not be increasing your income anytime soon. And you can also decide to have one-to-one coaching with it as well, which means you get my one-to-one help and support to take your business to the next level. Plus, I've done this as a mastermind. So somebody said to me the other day, why didn't I create this as just a normal standard kind of 7 or 8 week program? There's a really good reason for that. So when I first started in my coaching business, it was the help and support, the ongoing help and support of my coach that really got me through some of those really difficult early days. Because when you're starting a new business, when you're trying to build momentum, it can be really lonely and it can be overwhelming. And there were so many times when I wanted to give up and just go back to get a job. But it was the help and support of my coach that really got me through. But I also know that investing in one-to-one coaching is a massive decision, and it can feel just like a step too far when you're new in business. So I wanted to create something that was like a hybrid that would give you all of that information that you need without the overwhelm to get your new business up and running, to create that robust marketing strategy that would bring people into your business, that would increase the number of sales, increase your clients, all of those things that your business needs, but do that in a way that wasn't just throwing the information at you and then running away. So I was there to help and support you through it as well. So that's why I've done this as a 4-month mastermind. So it's not me just throwing information at you and then saying, go do it. It's giving you information, helping you make the right choice for your business, and then supporting you through implementing it as well, so that it does create that momentum, so that you do end up at the end of it with a business strategy that is going to actually work, and one where, as we're going through, you can really find what works, what doesn't work, how to tweak it. And you've got somebody there that you can go to and say, I don't know why this isn't working, or what else can I try? So, and you've not only got me, you also have the help and support of like-minded women as well. So other people who are on that journey with you, because that's really what makes the difference. Being an entrepreneur can be seriously lonely when it's just you and your laptop and the dog. And as much as I love the dog, she's not really there to help and support me. So you need that support of like-minded women who can really help you to take it to the next level. Now, when I created it just with the one option. So you got the business strategy workshops and the one-to-one coaching as well. But then some people contacted me and said, it's still too much, I can't afford it. So there are two ways that you can join. If you want the VIP membership, which includes the workshops and the one-to-one coaching, that is £247 a month, or 320 US dollars. I have included an option to pay by US dollars as well, and I think the conversion is pretty accurate. Or you can take out the one-to-one coaching if your business is really new. If you're not yet generating any revenue at all, you can join and just do the workshops, which are like this, which is £97 a month, or $127. So you have the two options, so you can pick the one that is best for you and your business and your budget. Now, I also have a really special fast action bonus for you as well. I know how scary sales can be, and trust me when I say I used to be absolutely awful at it. In fact, my first ever sales call, I actually suggested that my new potential client go and find a different coach who could actually help her. So when I say I've taken the difficult route to learning about sales, I really, really have. What that means is I had to throw myself into learning everything about sales and doing it in a completely authentic and non-icky way. So what I'm including for you lovely ladies who sign up for the mastermind by today, so before midnight tonight, is a workshop entirely on sales. So this is where we get clarity on what your offer is, the transformation that you'll help your clients go through, and then how you can create an authentic sales process. So whether that's face-to-face, whether that's via email, both of those, social media as well, so that you have this really authentic sales process that doesn't feel icky and that doesn't feel horrible in any way, that doesn't make you awkward, doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, and really helps you to get all of those clients into your business. So like I said, that is a fast action bonus that is only for people who sign up by midnight tonight. Okay, like I said, I'm so excited about this mastermind because I know that it has the power to transform your business and literally take it from passion to profit. Okay, ladies, I know you are all super busy. So does anybody have any questions and about anything we've covered today or the mastermind? And I will pop the link in here. Just bear with me, I might just disappear for a moment. I will pop the link. So what you can do is you can go and have a look at the enrollment page, have a look at all the workshops that we will be covering. There we go. Yeah, decide if this is what you need to take your business to the next level. Okay, does anybody have any more questions? And saying thank you. You ladies are all more than welcome. Lovely. Right, if there's no further questions, then I will stop the recording, and thank you ever so much for joining me this afternoon.